Hello everyone. Welcome you all to the series of MATLAB tutorial. In last session, we started with an introduction to MATLAB and programming basics. There I covered why and what is MATLAB, basic features, environment windows, use cases, variables, MATLAB help, syntax, commands, and we learn about creating M files. Now this is a time to get accelerate and step into the next level to start using MATLAB. Today I'm going to cover MATLAB data types. This is very important with programming in MATLAB. We will begin by talking about the basic information about MATLAB data types. Again, we will go more little bit deeper in different data types available in MATLAB, then data type conversion, and finally I will talk about the various functions for identifying data types. As usual, I want to keep this session mixed with theory part along with a live demonstration of few examples to understand you better. MATLAB does not require any type of declaration or dimension statement. Whenever MATLAB encounters a new variable name, it creates the variable and allocates appropriate memory space. Let's create a variable in MATLAB and see how it works. This is a MATLAB and I have already created a M file here and name of the file is a sample. Now let's cover few of the data types, not all or not most of them, but few of the data types and understand how it works. So I'll starting with string. So I am writing the name of the variable as a str is equal to and writing down the string here. So I wanted to create the string for welcome to MATLAB. Okay, and then I'll terminate this statement. Another example, let's assign one variable with a name of num is equal to and assign some value. Let's say 100. Okay, I have assigned the 100 value. Take another example that is assign the variable, let's say a is equal to double. Okay, and the number which I created earlier, that is a num variable. Okay, then I wanted to see how the unsigned integer data type works. So let's create a variable called un and then use u any of the, let's say I'm going for 32, let's say unsigned integer 32, open the parenthesis, and then let's put the some number 1, 2, 3, 4.567, anything. So just 50. Close this. Uh, let's see how integer 32 works. So for that, I'm creating let's say a result variable is equal to, and what I'm doing integer 32, that's int 32, opening the parenthesis and putting down the value which I wanted to convert or see how it works. So 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say, and 5, 6, 7, 8, anything. Okay, and I'll terminate this statement again. So this is my simple script where I have covered this double and sorry, integer 32 string. That way I have just taken as an example. And if I compile and run this code, I hit the run button, the variable gets created, right? So when this code is compiled and executed, it produces this result. So the result is this number is 100. And if I'm trying to convert that in the double, so that's what the A is 100 here. But if you see this 1, 2, 3, 4 and 0.50, when I am trying to convert that unsigned 32, and here is the result. So the answer is 1, 2, 3, 5. Actually, it is rounded to the 35, right? Earlier it is 34, so it is 35. And when I look for the res variable, that's the result final variable. Here again, I'm trying to convert that number into integer 32. So earlier it was a floating point number, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 point XYZ. So it is rounded like 5, 6, 7. It is rounded to 1, 2, 3, 5. So this is how, in a simple way, how you can use the data types. If the variable already exists, then MATLAB replaces the original content with a new content and allocates a new storage space where necessary. Let's again see this as an example in a MATLAB. Now this is a MATLAB, and now we are gonna create a new variable. So there are two ways to create the variable. Either you can use the M script. Here you can create the variable, or you can use the command window. Both way the same. So if I say A, and here I've created the variable, let's say is equal to 100, and if I run this, you see the A variable is created, right? So new variable is created. So what happened after executing this statement, after running this, that means this statement is executed. So this statement creates the one by one matrix named A and which store the value of 100. Now considering the point where the variable is already exist, MATLAB replaces the original content with the new content and allocate the new storage space. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the value of this A. So with the same variable, if I write 200, that means already A is assigned 100 and again 200. So let me run this. So here it is showing the warning, but what happened? It is replaced. That means the previous value is replaced and stored into the variable A. By default, MATLAB stores all numeric variables as a double precision floating point values. MATLAB provides 15 fundamental data types. Every data type stored stores the data that is in the form of matrix or array. The size of this matrix or array is a minimum of 0 by 0, and this can grow up to a matrix or array of any size. And here are the commonly used data types in a MATLAB. MATLAB provides various functions for converting a value from one data type to another. Here is the table shows the data types conversion functions. And let's see some of the examples of data type conversions in MATLAB. As we see in that MATLAB provides the various functions for converting a value from one data type to another, we're going to see the few examples here. So let's start with that. So here is the MATLAB, and I'm going to start with a very simple examples and the few examples. I'm creating one variable here. Let's say the name of variable is again the A, and here I'm writing some string and want to convert that string to the number. So let's say str2. You see here the function is string to number. Okay, and here inside that I want to create the string, and that string is, let's say, 1000 or 100, whatever you want. And I'll close this. Okay, or even I can keep this open. And if I run this, then we can easily see that A is getting loaded with the value of 100. The second example, let's take another variable, that is a B is equal to, I'm assigning some value here, let's say 10. Okay, and I want to use here as a decimal binary. That way I want to convert. So I wanted to convert this value into the binary string. So I will use binary string name variable. It's a variable name basically. And what I'm gonna do, I'm using a function decimal to binary. So here's the decimal to binary. Let's say I want to convert this into binary, and which variable it is asking for, A or B. I want to convert the B. Okay, and I'm then let it be this way. I'm not closing. I wanted to see that results in the command window itself. And the next example I wanted to show here is hexadecimal string. So I'll create the one variable that is hex str string. This is the variable actually. You can use any name. And I'm creating here, let's say 3f is a hex value. And I gonna see the result. So I will not terminate the results here. So I will say result is equal to hex to decimal. So I want to convert this, right? And then I will write down this, right? Hex string I want to convert. And I want to see the result. So I will not close this statement. And next is a very interesting conversion of data type and very commonly used. So let's say one time related. So date time. So what I want to do here, I want to use the function called now. Then I want to use the time zone as well. Okay. Then need to use the single quote here, comma. Okay, comma. Then want to see the local time here. Then want to close this. Then I want to use the format. You see here in MATLAB is suggesting here, so I just have to and I don't want to go for the default, so I want it format the way I want. So I'll do this D, then M, then Y, this way I want, then I want space, and I want HH. This is how hours, minutes, okay, and seconds. Okay, so this is how I want, and then I will close this. Okay, so this is how I created. And the last I want to work around the string. If the string variable already present, so let's use, if it is not, to avoid the confusion, let's create the variable called str result. Okay, and here I will create one string here. Let's say welcome MATLAB, welcome to MATLAB, and then I will use result results variable is equal to lowercase is a function which helps to convert. Okay, and I will use this, paste here. Okay, and I wanted to also see on the uppercase as well, so I will just copy these, paste here, and I use here upper. So this is the script I created, which covers few of the functions which can be used to convert from one data type to another. So let me hit this and now see here the results, right? So here are the results. So A earlier was a string and that is converted into number. So here you can see the 100 is a value basically, and here you can also see the results 100. The second, the 10 was my decimal number and I wanted to convert that into the binary, and I convert. So the result for the binary string or bin str is a variable, and you can see 1010 is the binary conversion for the 10. Next result for 3f is in the hexadecimal to decimal is basically it's a 63 is a decimal result for the 3f. And if you see the time, today is the 9th August, the time is it's 4 o'clock, and here I can see the rest details. And the last is again interesting. I created one string here. Here is the string I created and wanted to see the results in the lowercase. That's the welcome to MATLAB. And if you see in the uppercase, it is welcome to MATLAB. These are the few examples which shows how the MATLAB functions are used from conversion from one data type to another data type. MATLAB provides various functions for identifying data type of a variable. Here is the list which provides the functions for determining the data type of a variable. Let's create a script file and cover the few of the functions explained earlier. Now let's see a few functions for identifying data types of a variable. So for that, I'm creating a variable, and this is a script. Name of the script is a sample. So I'm writing down here the variable, creating a variable, var, and wanted to check few functions for the different values. So initially I will assign the value 10 to this variable, and I wanted to create few more values. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the comment here. So this way, and this is the next value which I wanted to check. I wanted to create array as well. So I'm gonna create array here. Then here is the here is the array 1, 2, 3, 4, and again wanted to check for the string as well. So let's see MATLAB. Okay, now let's see for the 10 first. What I have done here, I have created a variable that is the name of the variable is var, and I have assigned the value 10. Now I'm checking the answer. So that's what I'm creating another variable that is called answer1. And here I'm gonna check is variable integer. So what I'm gonna do this is, and if you see here, it automatically shows the MATLAB shows available functions, inbuilt functions. So I wanted to check integer. So here it is there, right? Is integer. And this is a variable, right? So I'll just click on this. I want to check this, right? The same thing I wanted to do for another variable. So I'll just copy this and paste here and write down 2. What I wanted to check here, any other function. Let's say, let's check, is it a floating number or not? So it's float. So here is the function. And then what I can do, it's a variable, right? I wanted to check that value. I wanted to check again, is it a vector or it's a scalar, numeric, anything we can check. So let's say answer 3, which is equal to is numeric. Yeah, I want to check that. And for what I want to check, I wanted to check for VAR, right? Then I'll terminate this. Then answer 4, I wanted to check for, let's say scalar. Let's check for scalar. So if I do something wrong, it doesn't show that. So it's scalar. So I did mistake here. So double S, then yeah, it's scalar. Okay. And let's check variable and close this statement. Then let's check for vector as well. Let's say answer 5. I wanted to check is vector. Here is the function and this variable I wanted to check. So I'm passing that variable for this predefined function which identifies the data type of a variable var. Okay, I think this is good enough. So let's check on this. So what I'm gonna do, I just gonna compile and run this code. So I'll just hit run and let's check what happens. Initially I assigned the value 10 to the variable var, and I'm checking here answer 1 is basically is this variable integer. So let's check the answer 1, and that is a false actually. That means this is not a integer. Now let's check. Is it a float? What is the answer to? Yes, it is a floating number, right? Then let's check for the third answer 3. Is a numeric? Yes, it's a numeric number. It's a scalar? Yes, it's a scalar. It's a vector. Okay. Now let's do for the another number. I'm gonna assign this value here, and let's do this way. I will terminate this and put a comment here for the rest thing. And let's again run this. So here the answers are same, and here the variable value is get reflected here with the new value. Now let's do this way. I'll remove this and let's check for this. Okay, I've created a vector here. I'm closing this statement here and putting the comment for the MATLAB. I'm hitting run. So here you see the answer is changed. And what is that answer for? That is scalar. No, it's not a scalar now. So that's what it is changed. So 0, right? Now, if I remove everything and just say string here, and if I close this, and run this, then here you see all answers are 0. It's not an integer because it's a character, right? It's a string basically. It's floating. No, it is not a floating. Then what is 3? It's a numeric. No, it is not a numeric. Fourth is a scalar. No, it's not a scalar, but it's a vector. It's a string vector. That's what this is a true answer. Answer 5 is right. And here, what is inside this variable is shown here, the character vector, right? So that is what the answer 5 is. 1, true. 1 means true. 0 means false here. This is very short about how the functions can be used to identify the data type of variable. Whatever the variable you define, here I have defined the variable var, and I'm checking um, and identifying the data type of that variable. Explore my latest online crash courses, tutorials, and learn new skills at your own pace. Subscribe, learn, and become an expert to boost your career. After watching this video, I'm sure that you understood MATLAB data type, how to convert data types from one to another, and how to determine data types of the variable in MATLAB. If you really like this session, then please give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, then hit that subscribe button. Now you're gonna get the notification anytime new contents like that comes out. And lastly, if you have another ideas or any queries on this topic you wanna see me cover in the future, leave me a comments below. I read them all. That's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.